Ya, Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Haris Misbawi. My number is BEV30401. Right now, I want to talk about the process of to turn on the MSB system. Okay, before we start, first we need to wear the PPE first before we go into the room of LBSB room. The PPE which is the safety helmet CW, fireproof shield, fireproof suit, electrical installation glove, and electrical hazard boots. Then we apply the permit to start this process to the consumer. We have not notify the customer side before we start it. Okay, after that we check the supply measure in the LBSB room. The first thing or the thing that we have to check is the fire distribution. First I charge the single line diagrams for the system, and we have to measure that the insulator rubber mats in front the LBSB panel. After that, we also have to check for the logbook, which is the LBSB history. Last thing we have to know, we have to bring our tools and equipment. Okay, after we done all of that, we can start the process to turn on the MSB system. Okay, first we have to measure all the load, this load of MSB1 and this load for MSB2 is in turn off condition. As you know, we have two MSB, MSB1 and MSB2. Then we will try to turn on for the MSB1 first. Next, we have to measure the ACB. This is the ACB must in off condition. After we check all of that, we can go to the incoming supply to turn on to give the supply to MSB1. We will start for the first MSB1 first too. Okay, we turn on this and it gives the supply. Then we check the main supply. We can see it here, and now we want to connect our SCB into bus bar. In order to connect the SCB into the bus bar, we need to get our charging handle first at here. Just get it and just open this panel and we get the charging handle. After we're ready, the first thing we have to check is we have to check the status and confirm it. We have to confirm this line is in connected position, but right now is in isolated condition. So get the charging handle, we put into this and just turn to the clockwise until it get to the connected position, and the status have changed to connected position, and the SCB is connected to the bus bar. Okay, make sure the coil is in charge, but right now it's not in charge. So the thing we need to do is we have to pull it up and down. This thing is pull it up and down until it get into the charge. It will get like this. It is charged right now. Then after it charge, we just push this button to turn on the SCB. We turn it and the SCB is turned on and done. That's for the SCB1. And the thing that we have to know, we have to always stand on the rubber mat. Okay, after we done turn on the SCB1, we move to turn on the MCCB also. We need to inform to the customer side first to let them know that we want to start this process. Okay, after we done it, the first thing we have to do is turn on this power factor capacitor. It is to make sure our power factor regulator can monitor the system power factor. After that, we turn on the our MCCB, and then we can check the status. You can see here the status is now energized. It's energized right now. After that, the MSB1 is already energized and already supply to bus bar. Then we turn on the SCB2. We get the charging handle. We check the status. Is it in isolated position? Then we have to change it to the connected position. Just insert the charging handle in it here, and the setting will change to the connected position until it's changed. And also for the coil, we just put it up and down and it will in charge. After it's charged, we just turn on this button and the SCB is connected to bus bar. Okay, then we will turn the MCCB. The first thing we need to do, we need to inform first, notify the customer side. Then we turn on the power factor for capacitor. Then it is to make sure our power factor regulator can monitor the system power factor. And turn on the MCCB. We just turn on the MCCB, and yeah, MSB2 is already energized and ready to supply to bus bar. Okay, that's all from me. Thank you.
Assalamualaikum. My name is Elisa Afira binti Azhar. My chemistry number is AE190067. So I will explain the procedure of bus bar coupling MSB1 and MSB2. So first of all, the importance of coupling MSB1 and MSB2 is if the fault happen or for the maintenance purpose. So to do the maintenance at ACB MSB1, firstly we need to turn off ACB. We need to turn off this first. So before turn off ACB, make sure all the loads is turned off. In order to do that, I must inform consumer side that I want to turn off their power supply. After get the permission, I can turn off the load. So turn off the load from 4 to 2 and 1. Then I can turn off the power factor. So how to verify? I can check the current status at the emitter. At emitter, it should be 0 amp because we didn't give any power supply to the load. So after that, now I can turn off ACB. By pushing the red button. So the bus bar is already de-energized. I only have a main supply from the isolator on the transformer. So I must turn off the power supply from the isolator. So this is the place that we need to turn off the main power. Right now my power MSB1 is fully de-energized, so I can rig out my ASB. So this is the rig out ASB to do the maintenance. So after I rig out the ACB, I need to get the handle to remove the ACB. So firstly, we need to put in the handle and turn in anti-clockwise. At this hood until it's at the third position isolated. Okay, so right now I already removed the ACB. So after already at the third position, this handle we need to place it back at the So the ACB is already removed from this panel and already disconnect from the bus bar. So it means the ACB is already disconnect. If want to do the maintenance of the ACB, take out it outside and place it on the table in order to do the maintenance of the ACB. So we already removed the ACB for the maintenance purpose. We need to put a sign here, put a sign at here to give a notice for everybody in the MSB room that we are going to do the maintenance at this area. So our MSB, our load at MSB1 at here is not off. But some of the load need to be operated. So we can take the supply from the MSB2. We can take the supply from MSB2 to feed our load at the MSB1. To do the coupling purpose, first I need to take out my ASB key. So here has a key, so we need to take it out, the key first. Then we need to take out the ACB key in rotate in a clockwise. So rotate in clockwise. Take it off and place it here at the middle of other two keys. And so after that we can take other two keys from here. So after we put it here, we can take it out to other keys. So after we take out other two keys, we put it at isolator 1, put here and put it here. Put it the key at isolator 1 and isolator 2. So after we already put the key on the both isolator, the isolator right now is ready to turn on. We have two isolators, so depends on the coupling, either number 1 feed number 2 or number 2 feed number 1. So for this case, our MSB2 right here need to feed MSB1, so we need to turn on isolator 2 first, then turn on the isolator 1. So we need to turn on the isolator 2, then turn on the isolator 1. So right now we can monitor the bus bar supplies. So this is the bus bar supply condition. So the bus bar at MSB1 is already energized. So we ready to supply to our consumer. In order to give the consumer power supply, we need to call them first to make sure they already received the power supply. After that, we can turn on the related load. In this case, I turn on all the load, but we need to turn on the power factor first. Then after that we can turn on load 1, 2, 3 and 4. So our load at MSB2 and at MSB1 is supplied by the incoming work from the our load at MSB2 and MSB1 is supplied by the incoming from the board MSB2. After that, with this coupling process, we can do other maintenance. So this is how to do the coupling process from MSB2 to MSB1 And that's all from me, Elisa Afira. Thank you.
Okay, Assalamualaikum. Next for the third task, normal supply restore. So the first thing we need to inform our consumer that we want to turn off the power supply. So after they're ready, we are gonna turn off the power supply and also the load, and then we're gonna off the power factor also. So after that, all it off, the current status, we can check the current status at the MSB1. So it must be 0 ampere. So after that, we can turn on the isolator C1, and then we check the bus bar supply is already energized. So after that, we are gonna turn on the isolator C2. So we are gonna take the key from the C2 isolator C2 to the SMB1, and also the key from the isolator C1 also to the whole key disk. Then we are gonna remove the SCB key. So after that, we are gonna insert back SCB key into the compartment at the SCB key. So we are gonna turn on the clockwise to unlock the condition. Right now our SB is isolated position, so we need to give the MSB1 to power supply first from the isolator. So we're gonna move to beside that, and turn on give the power supply to the isolator. So right now our incoming SB1 already have the power supply. Check the voltage. Then we can write in SCB, insert the challenge handle, then turn on the clockwise until the status SCB change. So we're gonna take the handle, this SCB. Hold the challenge handle to turn on the SCB. So until it's on, you're gonna read the SCB status. Before that, we are gonna put back the handle in the SCB. So after that, we're gonna read the SCB status and confirm it is in the isolated position. After that, change the isolated position to connected position. So put handle back in this V1 and close it. So before we are already put it. So SAB position, we charging position. So we're gonna doing the charge until it change the position. Okay, if they already change the position, we're gonna turn on the SCB right now. So check our bus bar and voltage detector whether it balance condition or not. So we will check the bus bar. So right now our SMB1 is already fit the load which is setting from the early SMB1. So after that, we need to notify the consumer. When they're ready, we need to turn on the power factor capacity first. So we need to turn on the power factor capacity first. So after that, we're gonna on the RCCB and also the supply. So after turn on the all load, we can check the current status. Current status, if there are any usage, we can see the increment the current. Then wait for a while to make sure our system in stable condition. So we're gonna wait a while to make sure the stable condition. So after we done the maintenance process, we can remove the finish. So finish, we can remove finish it, and we must do her work. If we're gonna do the record all the work we have done into the logbook. So finally we must close the permit that we already applied. So this all for the normal super restore. Thank you.